Hello and welcome to another episode of Low Tech Health. Let ourselves translate expert knowledge. We're bringing you the spooky version from the cabin of the woods. And it's raining. Wasabi, Walnut, what's hurting my tummy Wednesday? And I'll tell you what's hurting my tummy on this Wednesday. My chakras are all out of line. And no, it's not because I gotta go to the bathroom, although I will circle back to a story about nervous energy affecting IBS personally in a little bit. But my chakras, my gut, my big brain ain't smart enough to control what my gut thinks I should do. And that's right, I said think. The nerve endings in my gut think. And how do we relate this to the pine cone and the pineal gland? Well, I don't know. Other than nerves. All nervous energy feeds back to a source. And that source decides what to do with it. And I think that this might be the seat of the soul, the pineal gland, where our nervous energy, subconscious, conscious, gets plugged in, and we have to decide executive function, frontal brain, what we're going to do with that conscience. I had the idea that my girlfriend gets compliments a lot. Less since she's wearing a mask now, and she says that people don't just see her beautiful face and immediately start catcalling her. But I said next time they do that, it'd be a fun idea to just ask for $1. And if they say no, it's like, well, must not be that pretty, huh? Because objectification only really works and is fun, is a winner's bet if you're, again, the best object, if you're the winner. So, I don't think that's a real great idea. But she came back with, what about using that objectification spiral and segue into asking people how they feel about universal health care. Oh no, not a good one. Since you were willing to give a pretty person $1, would you not want to consider health care for everyone? Okay, fine. What about 65 and older? Would you care for all their ailments and pay for their health care needs once they've passed 65 and, basically a poorly conditioned worker, used up and no longer good labor for the market? You would. No, you wouldn't? Okay, well, let's talk about what they actually need before you just rule out that you would give them health care at all. Because, yeah, again, a poorly conditioned worker older than 65 is going to need a little bit more health care. They're going to need a little bit more money for, say, they're a type 1 diabetic and they need insulin, at least every day. So they'll die because insulin keeps glucose fueling the cells. Without it, your body can just disrupt itself and die. An emergency. We'll get to diabetics who are type 2 and metabolic syndrome and how to deal with that. Maybe even, looks like Friday. We'll probably have to get to on Friday. But these are situations that become emergencies. Diabetics out of control. Say we have hypertensive patients who are experiencing high blood pressure, need their beta blockers. If they do not get their beta blockers, we know that they will reach an emergency crisis, which, if no intervention is provided, they could die. Does that sound like you might want to treat those too? And just, of course, infectious treatments needs for the 65 and older population? No? Okay, not about that. What about providing health care before 65, like the age where many disease processes are taking full control of multi-organs, and you can have multi-organ system failure in a relatively small set of catastrophes, say dehydration leading to exacerbation of a CAD, a coronary artery disease, being lowered preload, choking out the place that has been increased blood pressure and perfusion, keeping that occlusion in your heart alive, dehydrated, kidney failure or kidney injury, acute heart attack, boom, What if you had a runny nose and you're septic? There's another system out. So like that's just one wheel falling off that makes all the wheels fall off at 65. So treating before would be a great idea, but I see that you're not about it. Encouraging, diet disincentivizing known metabolic syndrome inducing substances, carcinogens, and giving rewards to people who take care of themselves could be an idea worth exploring, because the kicker, as I get around to every time, and especially on this day, we're gonna pay 3 times as much for an emergency when these aren't treated, because a nurse like this asshole is not gonna take into account what cost is. They're gonna keep you alive, and I hope you want nurses like that. I hope you want your healthcare services to be practicing the best practice they can. Thank you all for listening. I hope to see you Friday, where we talk about the significant structure of the pineal gland and wrap this hind cone frenzy up. Love you guys. Bye-bye.